It's Sunday, so we're going to make ourselves a British Sunday dinner. Now this is a very traditional, very tasty recipe that's eaten by many families across the country, and I'm going to teach you how to make one that's really nice today. So, let's start by preparing the chicken, as this will take the longest to cook. You'll want to cut off and remove any string if it came with any, and then you'll want to use salt and pepper to season the inside of the cavity before inserting half a lemon, some thyme sprigs, and half a garlic just sliced down the middle. Now place the chicken in a roasting tray with another lemon, quartered, and the other half of the garlic, halved again. Now drizzle some olive oil over the chicken and just rub it in with your hands. And while we're at it, we may as well add some big chunks of aromatics underneath the chicken, so I'm adding some carrots and some shallots, but celery also works really well. Now it's time to put the lid on, bake it in an 190°C oven for 45 minutes per kilogram, plus 20 minutes without the lid on. Having peeled your potatoes, cut them into the appropriate size and shape, as you see here. Simply add them to a pan of salted boiling water and blanch for 5 minutes. Once the chicken's been in for a while, we'll take it out briefly to baste it with some of that fragrant sauce, and then pop it right back in. To make our Yorkshire puddings, we'll add 140 grams of plain flour into a bowl, along with 4 whole eggs, mixing them together and incorporating 200 ml of milk slowly. For our roast potatoes, we'll get a baking tray and add a tablespoon of goose fat, olive oil or coconut oil, and then pop it in a preheated oven for 5 minutes. Now we can drain our potatoes, shake them around in the pan to make them fluffy, add some freshly picked rosemary and thyme, shake them around to coat them in the oil, and then put them in a 200-degree oven for 45 minutes. Now I'm going to add some coconut oil, but again goose fat or olive oil will work fine as well, into a Yorkshire pudding tray. Now I'm going to put them in the oven for a few minutes so it's boiling hot and melted. You really need these trays to be as hot as possible before adding the batter. When the oil is hot, just add the batter to each little compartment, about 2/3 of the way up, and then put them in the same oven as the potatoes for 20 minutes. Now we can pull the chicken out the oven, crush the lemons to release all their juice, and then tip all of the lovely juice into a saucepan. For the next step, we're going to add a tablespoon of corn flour and a tablespoon of gravy powder into a mug, and add some cold water, mix it together, and add it into the gravy, before stirring and simmering on a low heat for about 5–10 minutes. And finally it's time to plate up, so we'll carve our chicken and add a few slices, add some potatoes, some vegetables, in this case I've gone for carrots, broccoli and cauliflower, and then we'll get 2 of our lovely Yorkshire puddings and drizzle it all with some really nice gravy. And as usual, the last step is to take a really nice shot of it to see what we've made.